American alligators are found across the southeast United States. They can be found throughout Louisiana and Florida, in the southern parts of Georgia, Alabama, and Mississippi, and the coastal areas of North and South Carolina. They can even be found in the southeast corner of Oklahoma and the southern tip of Arkansas. In Florida alone, there are approximately 1.5 million American alligators living in the state. And here in the Everglades National Park, around 200,000 call it their home. It is quite incredible how many you can see just from a short trip to the Everglades. They spend much of their time basking in the sun by the side of the roads. These reptiles are cold-blooded animals, which means they cannot regulate their body temperature internally. Basking in the sun helps to raise their body temperature to more comfortable levels. Adult male alligators can grow up to 15 feet long, whereas a female alligator will be a little shorter at around 10 feet long. However, here in southern Florida, both sexes tend to be a little shorter than that. And there's plenty of other wildlife to be found in the Everglades too. The Florida panther, the Florida black bear, possums, river otters, as well as this great blue heron, which is the largest wading bird in North America. These herons have been known to even hunt baby alligators. And here we have a double-crested cormorant. Looks like it's got hold of some sort of shellfish. These birds can dive to depths of 25 feet at incredible speeds in order to catch fish and other invertebrates. They are quite often seen perched on a branch or a post with their wings spread out drying their feathers. Snakes are also common residents of these marshes. Be careful of the most common snake of Florida, the venomous Florida cottonmouth. These pit vipers can give a nasty bite, so give them a wide berth. They are also often confused with the snake we see here. This is the banded water snake. Non-venomous, but will still bite you if you try and pick it up. Take a look at these baby alligators. The sex of the offspring is determined by the temperature of the nest. Incubation temperatures lower than 30 degrees Celsius produce females, whereas higher than 34 degrees will produce entirely males. Just before they are born, towards the end of August, the baby alligators start making high-pitched noises from inside their eggs, letting their mother know to remove the nesting material. The diet of an alligator depends on their age and size. Typically, young alligators will feed on a variety of fish, crustaceans, snails, insects, and worms. As they get older, the size of the prey will get progressively bigger, feeding on turtles, larger fish, small deer, and birds. They are ambush hunters and have even been known to attack dogs, Florida panthers, and black bears. Usually, an American alligator will not regard a human as prey, but it may still attack in self-defense if provoked. It is an apex predator, so it is still worth being very wary in the company of these magnificent reptiles. Most of the muscle in an alligator's jaw evolved to bite and grip prey. They have the strongest bite force of all creatures at 2,000 pounds per square inch. In comparison, lions only have 600 pounds of force. Living alongside the American alligators are also American crocodiles. We spotted this large female in the process of building a nest. The American crocodile is one of the largest crocodile species. Males can grow up to 20 feet long and females up to 13 feet, both substantially longer than the alligators. There are several differences between the alligators and the crocodiles. When their jaws are closed, an alligator's upper teeth are only visible, whereas both the upper and lower teeth are visible on a crocodile. Alligators have wider U-shaped snouts, whilst crocodiles are more V-shaped. Alligators have lost the ability to excrete salt and therefore are restricted to freshwater. Crocodiles, on the other hand, still have fully functioning salt glands, which allows them to tolerate seawater more. Another fascinating difference is that both alligators and crocodiles have dermal pressure receptors surrounding their upper and lower jaws. These allow these reptiles to detect minor pressure changes in the surrounding water, enabling them to locate and catch prey. In crocodiles, however, these organs extend over nearly the entire body. There are only around 1,000 American crocodiles believed to be living in southern Florida, and their conservation status is listed as vulnerable. Here we've got a female alligator approaching a male alligator. We visited the Everglades in the month of April, which is right at the start of their mating season. The males begin by bellowing loudly in order to attract the females. Groups of alligators can be heard just after sunrise performing so-called bellowing choruses. These bellows are accompanied by large blasts of infrasound. Another form of male display is a large head slap. For 2 months of the year, April and May, male alligators will fight each other to gain the opportunity of courting the females. They are vicious fighters and will do anything to defend their territory and win the females. It is not uncommon to see badly scarred alligators with missing legs, torn off tails, and blinded eyes as a result of these fights. Outside of mating season, the male alligators are very solitary reptiles. Another great way to explore the Everglades National Park is to take an airboat ride. It's a fantastic way to learn more about the alligators and the other wildlife of the area. It is also a great opportunity to learn about the Miccosukee people who have occupied the Everglades since the 1700s. The Miccosukee tribe have a proud history, which predates the arrival of Columbus. They were originally part of Creek Nation and then moved across to Florida in the late 1700s before it became part of the United States. During the Indian Wars of the 1800s, most of the Miccosukee were removed to the west, but around 100 hid out in the Everglades and evaded capture. Currently, there are around 600 members of the Miccosukee tribe who are direct descendants of those tribal members who eluded capture. We made a short stop during our airboat tour at an island called Tier Island. This was the ancestral home of Bill Buffalo Tiger, who became the first elected chairman of the Miccosukee tribe. Alligators are truly incredible creatures. They have been around for millions of years and are probably the closest thing to a dinosaur that you're ever likely to see. They have a tiny brain, which means they've always got to be considered dangerous. They are an instinctual living machine. If they are hungry, nothing will get in their way of finding food. However, they can go as long as 2 to 3 years without eating. They are fully armor-plated. The bony plates that you see on their back are called scuts. These scuts make the skin very hard to penetrate. Each of the spikes on their back is made up of a piece of bone under the tough leathery skin. Look at this alligator's eyes. Alligators have 2 sets of eyelids. The outer eyelids are pretty much like ours, made up of skin and closing top to bottom. The inner eyelids are clear and close back to front. These inner eyelids protect the alligator when it is swimming and allows them to see more clearly underwater. When swimming underwater, alligators are completely watertight. Flaps close off the nostrils and the ears, the inner eyelids protect the eyes, and they have another flap at the back of the throat called the palatal valve, which keeps water out of the throat, lungs, and stomach. They can stay underwater for quite some time. A typical dive may last up to 20 minutes. If it's resting, it can remain underwater for 2 hours. In extreme cold conditions, it can remain submerged for up to 8 hours. Back on the airboat for our final journey back to base. Definitely a thrilling way to explore the Everglades. See if you can spot the alligator right ahead of us that we almost hit. There he is. And one final alligator encounter before the end of our trip. The Everglades is truly an incredible and precious place. We'll definitely be back again.